Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now May 14th of 2024, and given that Marvel Studios, we all know that they are in trouble big time for 2025, it's looking to be full of expensive failures on Disney's end, all because of Bob Iger, because of Kevin Feige, everything happening with, of course, everything related to Captain America 4, Blade, Fantastic Four, and even Thunderbolts to a degree is just the beginning of what's to come for Marvel in 2025, and don't even get me started on 2026. We'll have a lot more to talk about that next week, so stay tuned on all of that. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. So, Marvel, of course, knows, Kevin Feige knows that Deadpool and Wolverine is their one chance to gain a profit for an MCU movie in 2024. Well, because obviously this is the only one releasing this year. But it's not just about that. They have to break that trend of box office flops throughout 2023, generally speaking. That is the one thing that Disney is trying to break right now for 2024. Now, focusing on what's been going on between Ryan Reynolds and everything related to the Deadpool and Wolverine drama and the reshoots, it's only getting a little bit worse when it comes to how stubborn Disney really has become, and why Ryan Reynolds is gaining multiple victories throughout the month of May. Let's get into this. Now, what's interesting about all of this has a lot to do with the fact that, yes, reshoots are now scheduled to last until very early June, alright? We're talking about anywhere within June 1st to the 3rd, it should actually end and wrap up, where they head into post-production and wrap things up completely before that late July release date window for Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, focusing on all of this, alright, with the Walt Disney Company currently dealing with endless backlash related to both Lucasfilm and Marvel Studios, one major development now involves more to do with Ryan Reynolds of Deadpool and Wolverine. A crucial update to this situation now involves Ryan Reynolds and how he recently took action against Disney after they were set to incorporate a gender-swapped version of Wolverine in the Marvel Universe using Deadpool and Wolverine as a film. It turns out that Ryan, Shawn, Rhett, and Paul, the entire team of the new Deadpool film, sided with Reynolds after both Bob Iger and Kevin Feige were seriously pushing a shoehorned introduction scene that would set up a literal gender-swapped version of Wolverine that would later be used in Avengers Secret Wars that went under the codename Wolverina, loosely based on the Marvel parody comic from years ago. Now, this is not to be mixed up with Lady Deathstrike or even X-23, just to be very clear. The plan by both Iger and Feige was to have both Jackman's Wolverine and this new gender-swapped version to fight, where she would gain the upper hand and defeat Wolverine with ease. All the concept art and storyboards were made for this scene, and initially were all set and ready to be filmed by the end of May. However, recently Disney, of course, caved to Ryan Reynolds' demands, and decided to axe the entire scene after Ryan gave yet another ultimatum to the Disney heads that he would be willing to back down from doing extra PR interviews and taking part in the marketing campaign for the new Deadpool film. Now, the main reason why Reynolds had a major issue with this scene is that both Iger and Feige were taking advantage of the usage of the multiverse and using that as an excuse to not only shoehorn a gender-swapped version of Wolverine, but also a lot of different X-Men related characters that would be swapped, like Cyclops, for example, and many other popular male X-Men characters from the previous Fox films that were going to be gender-swapped as well. Now, this sparked outrage from the creators of the new film to the point that even writers Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick were willing to exit from a planned Deadpool 3 film, since this one is officially not considered the third movie, where Disney and Marvel are already trying to work a deal with Ryan on developing a third actual film to complete his true trilogy eventually before the end of the decade. Now, to make matters even worse for Disney, and rightfully so, is that this set back Disney hundreds of thousands of dollars for a high quality set build that was going to be used for the gender-swapped X-Men scene fighting Wolverine, including the female iteration of Wolverine, and how that was not to be confused, like I said before, with Lady Deathstrike or even X-23. What's even more legendary about this drama, by the way, guys, is that Ryan Reynolds is incorporating Lady Deathstrike now into the third act of Deadpool and Wolverine. This is great news. Now, this was rather a brand new character specifically designed by Iger and Feige to enhance their agenda for female empowerment. Even Hugh Jackman took a stand against Disney, knowing fully that this would create large backlash from fans. The concept art and storyboard descriptions label Wolverine as holding no chance against the female iteration in this fight, and that the dialogue was going to be improvised by Kevin so that they could reduce rehearsal time and costs. Now, they are now already beginning to salvage that set piece for reshoots related to another scene after the gender-swapped X-Men sequence was rightfully cancelled, after the entire Deadpool creative team took a stand against both Iger and Feige. Reshoots are now set to end by around June 2nd. That's going to feature a scene dedicated to Henry Cavill, the actor, as well as Lady Deathstrike, to have a very important and integral role at some point in the third act. Now, what's interesting about this, guys, is that we know that there's a lot of things going on here with Ryan Reynolds, and how after he got rid of Brie Larson, Tatiana Maslany, and the scenes featuring Captain Marvel and She-Hulk, he's rightfully using that spare amount of footage, those spare slots that can be used for something better, something that would be more dedicated to the fans, that would make people very much happy, is that he's using sequences that are set to feature Henry Cavill and Lady Deathstrike to take their place. Now, what's interesting about that is that Deadpool and Wolverine, as you all know, we talked about this as well, was supposed to be nearly 3 whole hours long. Bob Iger made the ultimate call to shave it down quite a bit, roughly 25 to 30 minutes less. That would cap it around just a little above 2 hours long in length. Now, we know that at the same exact time, Ryan Reynolds had a lot of problems with them shaving it down. They wanted to make this a 3-hour film. Look, we know that 3-hour movies are becoming, more of a norm, I would say. If they have a good story to tell, people can sit through that. Not a problem at all. You don't even need an intermission if you actually have a really good story that flows very well. I think at the end of the day, when you have things like this, the fact that you have Iger and Feige interfering with the production and how you have a lot of losses on their end, it goes to show you how thin-skinned these executives really are, and especially when it comes to Bob Iger and Kevin Feige running the show over at Marvel/Disney. They are caving to Disney, or should I say caving to Ryan Reynolds' view of Disney, and how he really is not going to stand up for any of their nonsense. And that really is inspiring, the fact that we have someone like Reynolds taking such a big stand against Disney, and really just pushing them to let him tell his story, to let him cook, essentially. Let him make what he wants to make. And I think that's why this could very well be the first Marvel movie in a very long time where it comes across as very passionate, that it's going to come across as a very pure, entertaining movie. Even Shawn Levy confirmed that you don't have to have any knowledge of a previous Marvel film to enjoy this movie. You can just go ahead and watch it and enjoy yourselves. Just a heads up there, by the way. But overall, guys, I would love to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.